Matter of fact, it can continue into the next generation and the generation after that. After all, you've worked hard to get to where you are. Why should your wealth end with you?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on today's webinar. We apologize for starting 2 minutes later than our scheduled 11 o'clock. Thank you for joining the conversation this morning. We know it's a busy day for us all, and for some of us who had gone through the traffic from yesterday, it's actually a pleasure to have you on this call. This morning, we'll have the Meristem Finance team speaking us through on a very, very important topic around finance leasing, with focus on identifying opportunities and advantage in accessing asset acquisition. Thank you so much for joining us once again. On this call with me this morning are seasoned professionals from the team of the Meristem Finance, and Sheyi Omowaye on the call this morning with us, Head Business Development, Meristem Finance. Good morning, and thank you for joining us, Sheyi.
Good morning, Watunde. It's nice to be here this morning.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I think it will be good for me to ask, how early did you get home yesterday? Because I learned quite a number of people faced a lot of traffic getting back.
I was on the island till like 10 p.m. yesterday, but I guess it's one of those days.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Sheyi, as we have on the conversation, is a chartered accountant with over a decade of experience, with industry experience ranging from consumer goods, healthcare, banking, and financial services. It will be leading us in the conversation for financial lease. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Sheyi.
Thank you.
Also on the conversation this morning is Aminat Ogunuga, Business Development Officer with Meristem Finance Limited. Thank you for joining us this morning as well, Aminat.
Thank you very much for watching me.
Cool. Aminat is an experienced advisor with over 8 years of experience in the financial services industry, with trajectories in microcredit analysis, contributing to fund disbursements, loan recovery, and portfolio management based on what she's done so far. And these two persons will be leading us in the conversation this morning. So basically at Meristem, we understand your promise to clients is let's grow wealth for you. And we believe the conversation this morning is around making life comfortable for your clients and how they can use your services at Meristem Finance Limited to actually achieve these goals that our clients might be having. Right, Sheyi?
Definitely.
Thank you so much. So this is going to take me into my first question. I would like for you, based on your experience, to just give us a background of finance lease. Let's have a clear understanding of what the topic is, so anyone on the call has the direction which we're going on this conversation.
Okay, thank you, Watunde. This morning we decided to speak on finance lease. This is one of the Meristem Finance Limited products. This time, and of course, nature of the economy is finance lease is basically a situation where a lessee person and intended person, the client that actually needs an asset and doesn't have enough cash flow to actually make up to needs, to approach a lessor, or as the case may be, both ways, in which an asset is acquired, meant for the comfort and use of the lessee over an agreed period of time. And of course, the lessee is just meant to just contribute a portion of financing of such assets. And of course, the lessor provides the balance, and the asset is kept by the lessee or used and enjoyed, as the case may be, over an agreed tenure over a specified period of time when the contract terminates.
Right. I hear a lot of technical terms, lessee, lessor, facility, and all of that. So, Amina, can you please just give us some clarity to some of these terms so some laymen like myself on this conversation can have clear and everyday language of what you guys are actually talking about? We understand you're professionals, so so just give us a landing part to understand what you will be talking before your finance register takes over us on this call.
All right. Of course, it's very important that everyone on this webinar understands, basic terms when you're talking about finance lease. And I know you must be hearing things like lessor, lessee, just as you have earlier mentioned. Lessor, in a layman term, is the borrower. The lender, sorry. The lessor is the lender, while the lessee is the borrower. I will try to give an analogy so that everyone on the webinar can understand what I am saying. So in the real sense, if one wants to approach, a finance, maybe Meristem Finance Limited, for an asset, lease finance, it is expected that the lessee, who is the borrower, is going to contribute a certain quota of the asset value. And in maritime finance, the contribution has to be up to, it ranges up to 30%, while the lessor, contributes the larger part, which is 70% of the asset value. And the lessor also takes ownership of the assets, while the lessee is in possession of the assets once it is bought. We also have other terminologies like the principal value. In this case, the principal value is the amount that Maritime Finance, contributes to this asset. Take, for instance, we have a client that approaches us that he wants to purchase a vehicle of 100 million naira. The lessee, who is the borrower, is going to contribute 30%, while Maritime Finance is going to contribute 70%. That 70% is the principal value when you're talking about some of the terminologies in lease finance. We also have other terminologies like prepayment schedule, right of first refusal. What this means is it speaks to the option to choose whether or not to take ownership. Because at the end of the lease agreement, the borrower can decide to either purchase this asset or not to purchase. So that's what the right of first refusal, means. Interest rates, I'm sure we are all familiar with what interest rates, means. We also have residual value. At the end of the lease agreement, the vehicle, like I mentioned earlier, Meristem Finance owns the vehicle, but the borrower, who is the lessee, has the right to also buy. Is a choice anyways. So this residual value, the worth of the vehicle or the asset at the time after the end of the lease agreement, is what the residual value of the vehicle is. So that's just basically about the terms in finance lease. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amina, for this understanding. However, I wouldn't want us to, for the sake of our participants, and we thank you all for joining. We see the numbers on this conversation is growing. We really appreciate you taking out time from your busy schedule to join us this morning on this conversation. However, Sheyi, I wouldn't want us to assume on this call. I would like for you to put some context around interest rates. We've seen a lot of review from the government on this, and we want to actually have a clear understanding of what the reality is in the market today, and basically other variants to consider in lease financing.
Okay, thank you very much, Babatunde. I mean, IPR has grown consistently over the half year, as we end the half year by weekend. And also the fact that inflation it's on the high side. However, I can tell us categorically that for Maritime Finance, our rates still remains competitive, even as we speak, compared to our peers in the finance sector. And also to state the fact that beyond the finance lease, there are also variants to, because like we said, it's for us, it's about meeting our clients and providing comfort to them. So also where we are also part of what we do for the finance lease, and the other variant is the sales and lease back on the finance lease. The situation where, like my colleague Amina mentioned, the client is buying a vehicle of 100 million. So in case the clients had even gone ahead to purchase those vehicles and is in the strain, need for a finance or the cash flow is strained, and of course needs financing for other operations of the company, doesn't necessarily have to dispose those vehicles. We could as well just buy the vehicle and lease it back, meaning the client sell the vehicle to us, then we give it back to the client to use, converting it into a finance lease as the case is, and agree a repayment period, and of course, other terms and conditions for use, even for that particular vehicle that the client had bought ab initio, which is another variant of the finance lease that I could actually bring up at the moment for this our conversation.
Right. Thank you so much, Sheyi. Just to still delve into what you just spoke about, Sheyi, is there like a typical tenure for these leases? Is it a 12 months? Is it a 48 months? Something to kind of create context for interested parties who are on this call to understand what you guys are actually doing on your timing, so they're guided and know what the split might be for their repayment.
Yeah, sure. It's like for us, we structure lending that we do really depends on the cash flow, as the case is. The tenor of these facilities, for these leases, as the case may be, ranges from 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, as the case. And these factors are determined primarily by the cash flow of the client, the nature of the assets, the life expectancy of such assets. For example, of course, for a brand new vehicle, we would expect that the vehicle will fully depreciate in 5 years. So obviously, we could lease it for 2, 3, 4 years, as the case may be. And of course, for other assets, depends on the asset and depends on the life expectancy.
So there's no particular timeline for anything. It's based on the review, and then your team is going to advise on what's applicable. Is that
exactly, ranging from 12 months to 36 months on the cases?
Oh, okay. Thank you for this. So what are the benefits and opportunities to clients that are looking to take a finance lease from your team? You know, I think, because for me, it's what is in it for me that I'm how to know. You know, you've told me about the lessor, you've told me about all your terms. You didn't really dwell much on your rates. That's fine, but then you've cleared us that it's quite competitive. But, you know, I wanted to get a clear understanding. Why should I consider lease finance as an option while doing acquisition or expansion for my business, as the case may be?
Okay, I think I would jump into this right now. So talking about the opportunities or advantages of a lease finance. Basically, it helps cash flow management. It gives you access to purchase vehicles or assets that you might not have the full fund to purchase at the time. So all you need to do is to contribute a little sum of money, and then you have access to it. It helps in spreading, cost over time. Once you have access to it, helps your cash flow basically. So you don't have to remove a large chunk of funds from your business, which may affect your business, to purchase an asset that would be beneficial to you. So you'd rather, work to us at Maritime Finance for a lease finance, and then you pay back on a periodic basis, like on a monthly basis, as the case may be. Another opportunity to this is tax benefits. Lease payments basically are tax deductible. It's the significant tax advantage reduces the overall cost, of using the assets. I think Sheyi will take it up from there.
Yeah, I mean, basically for every lease within 12 months is tax deductible, and of course it helps to help tax management for companies, as the case is, and also for the balance sheet management. When you purchase an asset under lease, normally IFRS after 12 months, and of course mandate you to manage it on the balance sheet. But if the asset is expensed up in 12 months, then it becomes an asset for the company. However, it just expense of and it's tax deductible with an advantage for managing the balance sheet of the firm. And of course, it helps cost predictability. The lease normally are structured in a way that the installments are uniform over a specified period of time. So it's easy for the lessee to predict their expense on a lease over a long period of time, and of course, which helps to manage their cash flow. I think that's one of some of the opportunities that having a lease facility as regards as against the conventional loan provides to the lessee.
Thank you so much so far, Sheyi. I know the audience are itching to ask questions. We have a professional in the chat box to respond to any questions you might be having, and I also will be picking some of the questions when we get to the Q&A, so Aminat and Sheyi can speak to this. So please feel free to leave your questions in the box, and let's respond to it. So what industries or persons are you guys serving in this facet of lease financing? What kind of people should be coming to you as a business? Are you retail focused? Are you corporate focused, or you're a mix of both? Let's understand this.
Okay, so for the purpose of this webinar, we'll be speaking into some of the industries and individuals that can access financing from us, lease finance. Say for instance, now the manufacturing industry, we can fund them to purchase industrial generator, like their lease generator, soundproof generator, even vehicles, because some of these manufacturing companies also need vehicles, to run their operational activity. So yeah, we offer all of those services. Also, in the healthcare sector, we could help them purchase diagnostic equipment as well. Also, we can also help them purchase asset like their vehicles as well. So vehicles can't be, underestimated when you're talking about lease financing. The transportation sector, we help to provide services, purchase vehicles and automobiles. And then for the individual, we could, help you purchase solar. We could help purchase solar and also automobiles, even industrial generator as well. So those are some of the things that we finance in Meristem Finance Limited.
Okay, thank you. So just for clarity, are you focused on only financing brand new properties, or pre-owned items are also something of consideration, or even say the locally used ones? Or what kind of focus are you tend to?
Okay, of course, we for us at Meristem Finance, we are focused more on corporate entities. However, we provide individual support as the case is, just like my colleague have said. And also for these assets, for the vehicle, like Aminat mentioned, cuts across several of the sectors, vehicle in different forms and shapes. We provide, of course, support for new vehicles and pre-owned, as the case is. And of course, we don't actually support the purchase of Nigerian new vehicles, but for pre-owned and brand new, sure we do. Generators and every other asset aside from the vehicles must actually be brand new for us, as the case is.
Okay, so just dipping into the same question, are you putting caps to years of production? So if I say I want a 1984 Maybach, is this something you are happy to sponsor, or you're just focused on a 2024 to a 2019, say 5-year span kind of vehicle? What's the year, to give the viewers on this conversation a broad understanding so they are not cloud chasing when they come to meet you at Meristem Finance?
Okay, thank you very much, Babatunde. I think that's a very good question to, bring up. So speaking to the longevity of the kind of assets that we finance, it should not be older than 10 years. Okay. And the reason for this is that, this is an asset would always depreciate, right? So we wouldn't want a situation whereby we purchase an asset and it becomes difficult, to maintain, or maybe issues here and there. So there's a cap that we wouldn't, we do not, or Meristem Finance do not, purchase assets older than 10 years.
Okay, thank you so very much for that clarification. So I'm going to take one question from the chat box from Fatai Ayodeji. My name is Fatai Ayodeji, and my question is, what is the tax implication like? Can the lessee claim capital allowance relief on the leased assets in the sales and leaseback arrangement? Sheyi, do you want to respond to this?
Oh, yes. I mean, as the case is, yes. Like I mentioned generally earlier on the sales and leaseback, for the assets that's been reclassified as finance lease, they are tax deductible and the client can claim some of these tax relief on them. However, within a 12-month period, this became an issue sometimes back, and IFRS was updated to be able to cater for this, but this can only be claimed within 12 months. Anything above 12 months is not allowed for the claim of these tax benefits.
Okay, thank you so much, Sheyi. J-Ray is asking to reintroduce our guests on the conversation. So I have Sheyi Omowai, Head Business Development, Meristem Finance, a chartered accountant with over 10 years experience. Also is Amina Okunuga, who's also from the Meristem Finance Business Development team. Jay, I hope that gives you a comfort to your question. We'll be moving into other parts of our conversations now, as we would like to know, you guys are on the field, you guys are talking to prospects and clients every other day. Are there meets you have encountered in your trajectory, and then there is a different, clear understanding to this meet? Because I'm typically a Yoruba man, and my mom will tell you, anybody, that means don't owe anybody money. But in today's finance, you see everybody telling you, come and take this facility to give you this comfort on your cash flow. So what typically are the experiences you have gotten? So let's make this real-time basis. Sheyi, do you want to go first, or Amina? Because I'm sure you guys have several experiences.
Okay, let me go in first. So basically, there's a lot of myths about, finance leads, and I feel that a lot of people have different perspective or perception about finance lease. One of the myths about finance lease is that they are same as traditional loans. And I'm going to debunk that right now, because traditional loans are actually different from finance lease, because once this loan is disbursed to you, you take ownership of the asset immediately. But it doesn't work that way with finance lease. Once the asset has been bought, the lessor, which is Meristem Finance, takes ownership of the asset, while the lessee, which is the borrower, is in possession of the assets. Another myth about finance lease is that it's suitable only for businesses. So I would like to debunk that's not the case. Like I earlier mentioned during my presentation, during my discussion, I said that we also, offer finance lease to individuals. So it is not limited to just corporate organizations or businesses. And then
okay. Just wanted to add also that, just like Tunde asked, generally in finance, like you mentioned, that it's said people should not owe anybody debt. But in an economy that we run at the moment, having a system that supports your business to be able to make beat against some of these changing economic lines is actually very necessary to be able to achieve goals across several businesses. I think I must mention that, with the fact that it is not only finance, lease, and sales and lease back that Meristem Finance Limited provide, of course. There are other supports that we give to businesses, local purchase order, contract financing, bridge financing, and several other support, invoice discounting, and the likes. However, our focus for this conversation today is only on finances and its variants.
Right. Thank you so much. So Sheyi, I am interested because I see your wealth of experience, and I know over 10 years you must have had a very troublesome client, and I'm sure we have quite a number of people on this call currently. Just tell us about a major challenge you encountered on field, how you were able to give this person the solution they require, because I know Meristem is focused on disrupting, differentiating, and dominating. So how did you differentiate yourself as a business in the market to that client for them to have left other financing partners and have chosen Meristem Finance as their go-to partner when it comes to this topic?
Yeah, well, true. Also the challenges that there, but one of the differentiating factors for us at Meristem Finance over the years for some of our clients that we had, and of course the challenging one, our selling points, like I mentioned earlier on, of course we could have this conversation further, is our cost of funds is quite something that it's one of the differentiating factors for us. We provide funds at a very, very reasonable cost to the reality of the market. I mean, I've had several clients out to onboard with us because of the cost of funds. And aside from that, one of the other focus of Meristem as a whole, as a group, is to serve our clients beyond the financing, but of course the business relationship that ensues even out of the business conversation is also one of our very good selling points to several of the clients that we've onboarded. But of course, financially, the cost at which the burden is definitely not much for our clients on every of these conversations, both for the finances and for the other form of financial support we provide for our very respectable clients.
Right. Thank you so much, Sheyi. I'm just going to quickly pick a question. I see Jerry in the chat box again, very engaging individual. He's saying, I assume that properties are not within your coverage. I believe Sheyi would give a context to that. And then his second question, Jerry, you seem to be my guy in this conversation. It says, what requirements should be met to be able to get lease finance from you? So I think Jerry is wanting to know your onboarding process and requirements to access lease finance. So do you guys care to provide us some context on this?
Okay, sure. I mean, Jerry, thanks for mentioning that earlier. Like I mentioned in the slide, the fact is that for sales and leaseback covers beyond vehicles and all assets and buildings and real estate also cover. But thanks for noting that we don't provide that for our clients for the real estate and all. Of course, in the Meristem group, we could offer that to you, but not in Meristem Finance. And of course, the basic requirement checklist for our corporate entities is the fact that they must be in operation for more than 24 months. And that gives us opportunity to assess their performance over a 24-month period. And that's what informs for us if we'll be able to do business on. And aside from that, their credit rating and of course the use for the assets. One thing that is paramount for us in Meristem is the fact that the clients that we are onboarding should be profitable to themselves. When they are profitable to themselves, then we are good and we'll be able to support and help them expand for more profitability. And of course, we won't have this one situation where the client is stranded, not be able to, or a business conversation they are trying to onboard on, using the vehicles for or uses the asset for is not profitable from them. Once we analyze that and realize that it's not profitable from the clients, then we definitely will not be able to do, because we will still provide other advisory services for the clients to bring them profitability. Then we'll be able to do business, because like Tunde mentioned earlier, we are here to actually help our clients grow their wealth. And that is our key purpose in every slide of our conversation.
Right. Thank you so much. I see Jerry in the box again. Thank you so much. Jerry says, I am Ugo Obioha, and I have been with Meristem Stock Brokerage since 2005. That's a 19-year standing client. And he wants to know if he needs to have collateral to qualify for lease. If yes, would you be considering placing a lien on a stock brokerage account balance as collateral? I am sure the MFL team is going to get right back at you, Mr. Ugo Obioha, to answer this question. And thank you so much for being a participating audience on this call and long-standing client of Meristem. We appreciate you always. Another question is from John Okay. Good morning, my name is John. I want to know if an individual who is a client of Meristem that has an existing series of investments such as bonds and commercial paper have access to this package individually. For instance, obtaining a car with the motive of paying with my ROIs. So this is a very detailed question, Sheyi, and Amina, I hope you heard. He's got bonds, he's got commercial paper with a subsidiary of Meristem, and he's looking to repay with his ROI towards getting a car. Do you guys have any structure of this sort for him?
Okay, thank you, Jerry, and I didn't quite, and John for the question. I think both questions are actually similar.
Yes.
I would say that Meristem Finance is ready to do business with you, and we are considering the fact that you have business with other subsidiaries, and those the asset or the investment in which you have with other subsidiary can serve as a collateral to your finance lease in case you want to, take a product on finance lease. And yes, all we need to do is to place a lien on the investments as collateral for the transaction.
Right. This is interesting. Thank you guys so much. I see there's a conversation on our slide that speaks about case study. Do you guys want to provide some further clearance to what we are currently seeing on our slide here?
Okay, so definitely. This case study is just to buttress what we have been speaking to since the beginning of this presentation. And it speaks to the fact that, okay, I'll just I'll give a summary of what we have on the slide. Say ABC PLC is a transportation company and is doing quite well in the industry. However, currently, the industry is experiencing a boom, in its revenue. And the reason for this is that there are new vehicles that has more space, to take in more passengers, and it is quite more comfortable than what is previously, in vogue. And ABC PLC is currently doing well, but is not yet experiencing the boom that other big giants in the business, in the industry are experiencing. And he also wants to key into, the good things that is happening in the industry. So the situation right now here, following this scenario, is that he needs to, purchase the new vehicle so that he can maximize his profits and his revenue. And what does he need right now? What it means that he currently has limited capital to do this. And the solution here is he needs to come to Meristem Finance for a lease arrangement. We'll help him purchase the vehicle. Of course, he's running a business, he's doing well in a business. So cutting out about up to 30%, to purchase the vehicle wouldn't be a problem for him. So Meristem Finance would contribute 70% towards this to help him purchase this vehicle. And with this, him having these vehicles would definitely increase his revenue because he's going to key into what the other giants in the industry is doing. So Meristem Finance Limited is readily available to partner with ABC Company or ABC PLC to enhance the profitability of his business.
Right. So I believe your case study is more of a pitch to the logistic industry to tell them there's a hand of fellowship at Meristem Finance for them to come through and do business with you. So if you are ABC, you are AKSIN, you are Chisco, Meristem Finance is sending a message out to you. And I'm sure this cuts across the other industries they have mentioned on this conversation. So I have a question. So I would like to know, how can I save myself from trouble of default? And my example is clear. I had a job in month 1 of my lease. Month 7, Nigeria happened, and probably my business is exiting the country and probably out of employment, right? I want to understand, is there a buffer in your system that gives me, say, a 3-month space to realign myself, get another job, get the cash flow ready to start funding, or the minute I default in 1 month, you're taking the facility from me?
So it happens, things like that happen for a finance lease, and that was one of the reality of finance lease, is the fact that the asset itself is self-collateralizing. And so in the situation where a cash flow is terminated and because of, as you mentioned, Nigeria happened, of course, like our client facing that we are, we understand with our clients, there's always a timeline to give to them to regularize this, and failure to which we could actually.
I think I'm struggling to hear you. Would you want to
project? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was saying that Nigeria happens, of course, and we've had some of the clients like that. And of course, I know some of them would testify to the fact that we try as much as possible to manage the clients to make sure that it is not an unredeemable default. As the case is, we give them some time to sort themselves out. However, the asset itself is collateralizing as the case is. So after the timeline, the leeway we give to them to regularize, if that's not done, then we might have to realize the assets. But the good thing is, even if the asset is realized, it's only the cost that is settled. The balance is released back to the client.
Right. Thank you so much, Sheyi. Another of my question is, what is the turnaround time with Meristem Finance Limited? So you would hear some people say in 24 hours you can access 10 million. We know some people would do paper. So are you guys analog, digital, or you're in between the two at Meristem Finance? What's the turnaround time with you?
Yeah,
when the client has checked all your boxes.
Yeah, once the client, I was about to mention that when the client checks all the boxes, the asset, not only the vehicle in this case, the asset is confirmed, everything is sorted out. Normally within a week, the asset will have been in the home of the client, as the case is. Within the week, we'll sort it out. Some way less than that. Just some transactions.
The 1 week you mean is you're acquiring and you're transferring, and the clients can have access to that item in question. Definitely. Okay. This is clear. I think I'm going to. You were saying something, Sheyi?
No, I was just trying to mention the fact that within the week is just fine, just like I've said.
Okay. I see 3 questions from 3 different people. There's Edith, there's John, okay. And this question is, what is your interest rate? I see Sheyi has been putting that in a box for a bit. It says it's competitive, it says it's attractive, it's a selling point. Now, my guest on the call would, my viewers on the call would like to know what your interest rate is. Is it a conversation you want to have individually? Is it a dynamic rate that maybe is one person's own is this, another person is this? Educate us, please.
No. Like I mentioned earlier, our rates are competitive, and they're a reflection of the MPR currently of the market. And it's a conversation we love to have directly with any of the clients. I mean, our contacts will be on the call. You could chat any one of us or send a mail to our group, and we'll be very, very, very happy to respond directly to individuals as the case is.
Okay, so I've just put up the contact for Meristem Finance on the screen, info@meristemfinance.com, and you can reach out to Sheyi Omowaye directly or Aminat Okunuga, or then you can still pick up your phone and call any of the numbers on the screen. They will be happy to respond to you. And as you rightly know, Meristem, it's a group of company that has other 7 subsidiaries. So you can look us up on the internet and let us know what parts of your life and finance advisory you might be needing, where our service is most needed. Our aim is to grow wealth for you. So we're happy to listen to you. We're just going to delve into the chat, find any question that we think is worthy of asking, and then put it up here. However, for all the questions you have asked, we have professionals in the box responding to you. So be sure to get a response before the end of this conversation. And if you're also looking to have private discussions, they would also follow up with you and give you all the room you might want. So I know you did speak about it on the eye level while responding to one of my questions. So I would like to bring it back again. What is the maximum tenure to pay back a finance lease with Meristem Finance? And tell us, is it like a regulatory timeline or your company capped timeline?
So for us, I would say it's a company capped type of timeline with a maximum tenure of about 36 months as the case is. However, that's the Meristem Finance statutory timeline for leased assets. But there could be some other exceptions. Like I mentioned, it's about the client. It's about what the client needs. It's about our analysis of the needs of the clients. And if the needs also prompts us to be able to do more than that, definitely we will. And if the needs actually shows the fact that we can do lesser than that, we will. But the statutory bar is 36 months maximum.
Right. Thank you so very much. And thank you for the 108 viewers that joined us on this conversation. You're most appreciated. As you have on your screen, you can see all facets of business which Meristem Securities currently plays in, which is the wealth management, trustee, family office, stock brokerage, as we have John Oke, who's been our client for over since 2005. We have the financing, which are these gentle people on the call. We have the financial advisory as well, and registry, registers and probate services, which you can find our office for that in Yaba. So we'll be happy to take any questions, and we'll have our chat room open for another 15 minutes. But for today, we'll be drawing the curtains on this webinar here. Thank you so much, Sheyi and Amina, for joining us on this conversation. It was such a pleasure to have you. And we believe the journey would keep going on, and clients will keep coming to you. And I'm sure some of the staff members are also on this call, and they're sending notes to their clients. And I'm sure the Meristem Finance is capable of handling the flock of clients that will be coming your way following this conversation. Thank you so very much for joining us on this conversation today, and have a good day, everyone. It's a bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Yeah.